namanda, 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 namanda. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our family service for today. It's nice to have all of you here and there and able to join service today. For our guest chairperson today, we have Bear the Bear, and you may have met him before, and he's here wearing his mask, and again, reminding everyone to be careful whenever you go out, to be cautious and protective of yourself and of everyone else that you might be in touch with. And you'll also notice he has his onenju on, so he is ready for service. So for today's service, we'll have the reading of the three treasures and the RaiSonMon. And I'll take my seat up on the altar, and we will chant SanBuJo and JuNiRai. Nembutsu and Ekoku will complete the chanting portion of the service, and I'll come back here to the podium for our Dharma message. So we'll begin with the three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. RaiSonMon. Ninjin ukegatashi imasude ni uku. Buppo kikigatashi imasude ni kiku. Konomi konjo ni mukatte dosezumba. Sarani izure no sho ni mukatte kakonomi o dosen. Daishu morotomo ni shishin ni sanbo ni kieshi tatematsuru beshi. Mizukara butsu ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawaku wa shujo to tomo ni. Daido o taige shite mujoi o okosan. Mizukara ho ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawaku wa shujo to tomo ni. Fukaku kyouzo ni irite chie umi no gotoku naran. Mizukara so ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawaku wa shujo to tomo ni. Daishu o tori shite issai muge naran. Ujo Shinjin mimyo no ho wa 100,000 万号にも愛をことかたし、我今検問し従事することを得たり、願わくば如来の真実義を消し立てまつらん。ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ。SanBuJo and JuNiRai. Namanda, 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 namanda. Shosa 勝負し権限人図し安楽戦後尊厳上苦行古賀将来未打損小無常無我と薬尿水月連尿路一種説法無名字古賀将来未打損一損仏説無悪名薬無尿になく道夫主任死信行一損古賀将来未打損一損無量法勉強無所主悪知識往生不退死菩提古賀将来未打損我説非損苦毒寺修善無変如海水小逆前言少女者衛生種上昇非公ナマンダムナマンダムナマンダムナマンダムナマンダム観にしくろく平等性祭本も大心往生ナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダ Good morning again. Thank you for being here today. I thought today I would like to speak about the Nembutsu, our recitation of Namo Amida Butsu. So to begin, please join me in Gassho and I'll read this wasan. The saying of the name, arising from true and real Shinjin, is Amida's directing of virtue to beings. Therefore it is called not directing merit, and saying the Nembutsu in self-power is rejected. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. So in this wasan, Shindan is saying that reciting the name and receiving Shinjin awareness all comes from the workings from Amida. And so it's Amida directing this virtue to all beings, each of us. And so because of this, it's called not directing merit. And saying the Nembutsu is not considered a practice on our part. That would be considered self-power, and that is rejected in our school. So today, I have a story about the scroll that we had at IBS when we were students. So when we were graduate students going to the old IBS on Hayes Street in Berkeley, we used to have 5 o'clock evening service, and before that we might have some classes or go to lunch or come back and playing backgammon or ping pong or something, and it would get close to service time, so we'd close everything up and go upstairs. And one of the rooms, the first room upstairs, was designated as the Hondo up there. And Kusada Sensei usually prepares everything for the service, and he's waiting there for us, and we quietly slip in, settle down, and begin our service, usually chanting of Juseige or something like that. And so the window facing Hayes Street was the front of our onaijin, and to make it easy to view that way, we wanted to block off the sunlight that comes in through the street side windows. And so you'd have the pull down shade and kind of a heavy curtain that they pulled, so none of the sunlight came through. So there it was in the middle of the room. The Namo Amida Butsu scroll was hanging there. And so we used that just for years and years and years. And finally, a time came when, I think it was Reverend Ken Tanaka. He was there visiting way past his time when he was a student there. So he was looking and just observing the scroll itself, and so where's that scroll from? And it looked kind of old and tatters. Well, we don't really know. Nobody knew the story of where the scroll was from. And he was planning a trip to go back to Japan and continue with his research. So maybe I could take it with me to Japan, and we could have it evaluated and see, officially, maybe that scroll is from somewhere. And so he took the scroll to Japan and had it looked upon by the staff at Honganji, and it was determined that this is original calligraphy of Rennyo Shonin. So he came back and told us this. Wow, we had no idea that this was hanging there. Every time we went to service at IBS, this was hanging there. And it was tattered, so he had it remounted on a very nice scroll. Now we don't, maybe now, every 5 years, we bring it out. So this is officially Rennyo Shonin's writing, calligraphy on this Namo Amida Butsu. And so it's a very special thing. But in those days, we just used to have it hanging on a curtain with a safety pin. And so we had no idea where it had come from, or that it had a special, beginnings here with Rennyo Shonin. So for us to find that out, it's really special. So when Shindan, during his time, he wrote the Shoshinge, and in the first 2 lines of the Shoshinge, Kimyo Muryo JuNiRai, Namo Fukashi Riko. These are equivalent of the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. It says, I take refuge in the Tathagata of immeasurable life. The second line, I entrust myself to the Buddha of inconceivable light. So these are the equivalent of Namo Amida Butsu. So why do we say Namo Amida Butsu? So when we are new to Buddhism or coming across Jodo Shinchu practice or young, we might question that. Why Namo Amida Butsu? Why is that the special saying? Why don't we say Shazam or something like that? How did it become that Namo Amida Butsu would be these words that would lead us to an awakening? So during Shindan's time, he used a number of different phrases that would convey the same thing as Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, so Namo Amida Butsu is considered the sixth syllable. Namo Amida Butsu. And another one, Namo Fukashi Giko Butsu, the eighth syllable. I take refuge in the Buddha of inconceivable light. And there's a ninth syllable, Namo Fukashi Giko NyoRai. So I take refuge in the Tathagata of inconceivable light. And a 10 syllable, Kimyo Jinjippo Mugeko NyoRai. So this is again the Nembutsu. I take refuge in the Tathagata of unhindered light filling the 10 directions. So each of these are equivalent to our Namo Amida Butsu. And Shinran used each of these at different times in his writings. And so it is through Rennyo Shonin that kind of adopted. He used different ones, but towards the end of his life, specifying for everyone to say the Nembutsu as the sixth syllable, Namo Amida Butsu. And from there, it became the phrase that everyone would use in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. And so towards the end, he was writing his calligraphy, so many of them, and he would write all these Nembutsu and place it on a scroll, and he would provide these to his followers. Please put this on your Obutsudan and recite the Nembutsu this at your place of practice, and encouraging them in their identity as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists. He would write so many scrolls, and so there's a story that he was kind of laughing and telling a disciple that probably there's no one in all of Japan who has written Namo Amida Butsu more than me. And his disciple is said to have responded, probably in all the 3 countries, there's no one who's written it more. So the 3 countries would be India, China, and Japan. And so prolifically making so many copies of this Namo Amida Butsu, 6th syllable, to provide these to his members so that this practice of Nembutsu recitation can catch on and continue. So other things that Rennyo did, so saying the Nembutsu, and he encouraged coming together regularly at monthly memorial service for Shinran Shonin. The annual Honko service was started before him, but he would really emphasize these opportunities to remember Shinran Shonin, to again listen to the teachings and to recite the Nembutsu, and to come together for those occasions. And so the Honko service would be a major service in Japan, and he would prepare for these services, and in preparation he would write letters in Japanese to provide to the followers that were continuing to grow in numbers. So these became the letters of Rennyo Shonin that many of us are familiar with. During our funerals, we read the white ashes, and that's probably the most well-known. But each of these things are contributions from Rennyo Shonin to encourage us to practice, to meet regularly, to recite Namo Amida Butsu, and to make it formalized rituals that we could practice and identify as Jodo Shinshu practice. So these are things that we receive from the efforts of Rennyo Shonin, and I think it's really special to be able to recognize that and to reflect upon that, and to know a little bit about how he has impacted our practice here still today. So thank you very much for allowing me to share a bit about Rennyo Shonin, Shinran Shonin, and our Namo Amida Butsu practice. We will light the incense, and you can please come up in Oshoko here and there at your homes, however you have set up. So we will conclude this service with the Nembutsu. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you.